ASMR Sports, back with another pack opening of more baseball cards. Today we have some 1990 Donrusss baseball cards. This set was massively overproduced at a time when baseball card manufacturers were really cranking up the printing presses because there was a lot of activity in the sports card market and people were really buying a lot of new baseball cards, a lot of unopened stuff, trying to get rookie cards. But not quite as many people were doing that as Donrusss had thought, and so, or at least they didn't by the time, these were out in the world, and so these cards are pretty worthless. I've got a box or so of these, and I remember when I was a kid, I had a lot of these cards, and they were somewhat or they had some cards in them when they first came out that were sought after, but it didn't take long before these and most of the other stuff that came out from about 1990 to 1993 or 4 became pretty worthless because nobody wanted it, and there weren't really any great cards in the set in terms of rookies or anything. This one has a Sammy Sosa, I think, rookie card. But Sammy Sosa didn't really become successful until the late 90s. And, in the meantime, his cards were not worth much, and this set was not really great. An interesting thing about this set is that there were a really high number of variations, like basically errors and then corrections of those errors. With this set, almost like every card had a variation, and excuse me, some were somewhat valuable at the time, depending on rarity. But I just remember that there was a ton of stuff happening. This design is not the best design Donrusss has ever come up with. I'll try to think of some of the variations I remember in these cards, but they were kind of just a lot of silly stuff, numbering things and differences in the back text and stuff like that. Also, this is 1990, and I don't think there was a Frank Thomas card in this set, which is a real bummer, since he was probably the hottest rookie of this year in hindsight, given that he is a Hall of Famer. So, the tops and upper deck sets had him in, but not. And in the top set, he was a draft pick, so that's how he ended up there, because usually tops is not really on the ball and getting players early in their career. It's an Eric Davis MVP. There's a Darryl Strawberry, Dan Plesac, Pedro Guerrero, Al Leiter. That's funny because, Al Leiter I think of a Yankee, Pedro Guerrero I think of as a Dodger, and who else? Strawberry, okay, I think of him as a Met, but this I guess was a year of change for a lot of players that had been on other teams, but I suppose every year is like that. impressive. Greg Jeffries, not very impressive. Chris Carpenter, Bib Roberts, and Willie Fraser. Alright, so not the best of packs, but let's see what we can do here. Wax wrapping on this year's set was very intense. Often you get wax paper like just stuck as all heck to the back of a card, but sure enough, there's some of that going on in this set. Okay, Raphael Ramirez, Frank Tanana, Jim Clancy, Ozzie and Diamond King. Oh, Dan Quisenberry, longtime Royal pitcher, relief pitcher. Yeah. Might have been one of his last few cards. Bob Boone. Bob Boone, he was, let's see, when was he signed? Alright, doesn't say, but he was the older son of Ray Boone, and then I think his son was Aaron Boone, who played in the, when did he play? 2000s or something, maybe late 90s. I wonder if that was his brother, but I thought it was 3 generations of Boones that played. Y'all can look that up. Pete Incaviglia, the big power hitter. Yeah, another guy that was a hot prospect in 86, 87 time frame, but didn't get very far. Murphy, Damir, Carmen Castillo, twins. Okay, kids, we're striking out pretty bad here. Not that really there's any good cards in this set, but there certainly is a large complement of Hall of Famers that you could get in this set. There's, Cal Ripken, Wade Boggs, and Tony Gwynn was playing. So certainly there are some good cards to be had. Comparatively, or relatively speaking, I should say. Okay, Alvin Davis, Jeff Pico, Ron Gant, he was a prospect in 89, or I'm sorry, 88, Clay Parker, Don Carmen, Rick Ruschel, All-Star. I remember one of the errors on one of the cards in this All-Star set. I think they forgot to put the star in the name area, so that was then corrected. It wasn't on this particular card, but it was on one of these cards, because generally all the All-Stars have a little star by their name. But some designer at Donrusss was apparently asleep at the switch. And there's Paul O'Neill. Played for the Yankees later. Dave Steve. Jr. is pretty hot stuff in about 1990. I mean, he just took off right away, and that was only his second year on a baseball card. Tom Pagnozzi, Jeff King, and Kirk Gibson. Alright, well, there's your 1990 Donrusss baseball cards. Not really a whole lot of winners, but this is an interesting set, I think, historically, because it's kind of the beginning of the end for Donrusss in that era. 1989 cards were, I think, pretty sought after for quite some time because they had the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card in them, along with Randy Johnson and I think one or two other pretty decent rookie cards. So, even today, if you pull a nice mint Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card out of there, it might get you $10 if it's PSA 9. Of course, you're going to pay $12 for the grading, so I'm not sure how that makes any sense, but hey, I'm just here making ASMR videos, so what the hell do I know? Alright guys, there's 1990 Donrusss Baseball. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll be opening lots of more fun stuff soon. So, subscribe if you enjoy, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.